The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.
Hi everyone, it's Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is Friday the 14th of April 2023 and I'm here with you for the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 228. It is the podcast that talks about everything Bundoran. We're going to be talking poetry and a nice event that's coming up on Thursday the 27th of April in Bundoran Community Centre to celebrate National Poetry Day, and Paddy Donoghue is going to be telling me a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Teresa O'Neill also joining me as well in Bundoran Community Corner from Bundoran Community Centre. But let's start off as we get to the end of a busy Easter period here in Bundoran, and musically wise we'll start off in the Allingham, and Eamon Jackson is there tonight, and also Tom Moran there from 10 until midnight, Elaine Boyle in the Coolmore Bar tomorrow night, and Abba-esque in the Ballroom tomorrow night there at the Allingham. Nigel Livingstone in the Coolmore Bar then on Sunday evening. Moving next door then to the Bird's Nest, and tomorrow night it is music with Brian Kerrigan, and Sunday evening it's Gary Fitzpatrick. The Unsigned Sessions for C Sessions, they start tonight at the Chase and Bull there on Main Street, and that is kicking off at around 8:30 tonight. It is the first of two semi-finals that are going to be held, and the winner of the whole lot will get to play on the main stage at C Sessions this coming June. So tonight you've got the Collision, you've got Basil Breen, Darlin June, the Capris, Toria and Collective. So that's six bands, six artists playing at the Chase and Bull tonight. There is no admission fee, entry is free. And you can go in and watch those bands play for free tonight at the Chase and Bull. The next semi-final is on next Friday night, the 21st of April. True Tones then tomorrow night at the Chase and Bull. George's Bar, it's Cian O'Donnell tonight. Retro Disco tomorrow night, and Sunday afternoon from 4 o'clock. As usual, it is the Trad Session. Live music across this weekend, as always, in the Phoenix Tavern at East End. And don't forget their late bar on Saturday night until 2 a.m. John Meehan is at the Railway Bar tomorrow night. Sean Gibbons tonight at the 51 Main Street, and Jimmy Gallagher there tomorrow night. Paris open tomorrow night, and we look ahead to next Friday night at the Great Northern Hotel, and it's music with the one and only High Kings, and tickets are on sale for that now. If you would like to go to the cinema, well, you can do so. Renfield is on in the cinema this weekend. It's the brand new movie starring Nicolas Cage, Assassin's Club, and then the animation Susumi, and they are all happening at the Eclipse Cinemas this weekend. And Missed It Monday, next Monday, is Ant-Man, so if you haven't seen that, you can get a chance to see it again this coming Monday evening. You can find the full schedule on our website, or indeed at eclipsecinemas.com. And next door to us in Ballyshannon at the Abbey Centre tonight, it is Mega Slam Wrestling. Bit of a departure from the normal fare you'd find at the Abbey Centre, but that is on tonight, and promises to be a fun, family-filled night at the Abbey Centre there with the Mega Slam Wrestling. Still to come on the Bundoran Weekly, we'll be talking to Paddy Donoghue about the special poetry evening coming up in Bundoran Community Centre on the 27th of April. And speaking of the Community Centre as well, Teresa O'Neill will be with us in our Community Corner on the Bundoran Weekly podcast with AIB.ie, supporting local businesses in Bundoran and Ballyshannon. Do stay with us.
The Bundoran Weekly.
An evening of poetry that I'm taking part in, that will be happening on the Thursday the 27th of April at Bundoran Community Centre, is coming up to celebrate National Poetry Day in a couple of weeks' time. Paddy Donoghue is the man who is running the show, and I sat with him during the week and we spoke about what it's all about. Paddy, we had you on the podcast recently. You alluded to something that was coming up and you wouldn't tell me any more details, but now you're in a position to divulge all of the information, and it's a really, really nice looking event happening in a couple of weeks' time, Thursday 27th of April at Bundoran Community Centre.
That's right, Shane. It's every year Poetry Ireland, who are sort of the governing body of poets, etc. in Ireland, have a National Poetry Day, and they call it Poetry Day Ireland. Poetry Day Ireland 2023 for this year. And they look at communities to put some little thing poetry orientated together on that night to more or less promote poetry in the area. So our wee writers group, Atlantic Writers Inc., have come up with this idea of putting a wee event on, and it's on Thursday the 27th of April, that evening at 8 o'clock in the Rogie Suite of the Bundoran Community Centre. And we've gone with a very simple format, Shane. It's where we've invited 12 local people, dignitaries you could call them, I suppose, from the town, all people that would be well known in the town. And we asked them to choose 2 poems or 3 poems that they themselves like or that possibly mean something to them, and to come and read them at the event, and maybe in a few short sentences say why they chose that poem or what it means to them, if they wish. And I approached 12 people, 6 females and 6 males, and everybody was delighted to have been asked. And I suppose if I could run through the names.
Yeah.
On the ladies' side we have Denise Connolly.
Former Carelock, former councillor.
Exactly, Shane. And then we have Caroline Harvey.
Actress from Fair City.
Jules.
Who now lives in Bundoran. And who has been on this podcast before as well.
Yeah. We have Jules Tuttleby, a Scottish girl, and a big fan of the Scottish poet Rabbie Burns. Maura Logue, a.k.a. Nora Gallagher. And that's a nice wee surprise there. A specially commissioned and composed piece for the evening.
Brilliant.
We have Dr. Niamh Hamill of the Institute of Study Abroad. And we have Marion Fitzgerald, very well known local person, musician, singer, and broadcaster on Ocean FM. And then we'll have 1 or 2 maybe of the girls in our writers group will read a little bit of a poem or 2 as well. And on the men's side, we have Mr. Bundoran himself, of course, Mr. Shane Smyth.
Oh, right, okay.
We have Cormac Meehan, businessman
auctioneer,
in the town.
valuer, travel agent.
Exactly. John O'Connell.
Chair of Discover Bundoran.
And Part Hotel. Dr. Philip Murphy. And I'm hoping that our one and only politician from the town, Michael McMahon, I'm hoping that he will also come and enlighten the evening with a piece of poetry. And Fintan Lynch is going to read a poem, a very special poem for us that was written in, I think, October 1961.
Wow.
Written by his late dad.
Okay.
Who was a bit of a bard, I'm told. And then 1 or 2 of us men from the writers group will fill in a slot or 2 as well, time permitting as well. So it promises to be a good evening.
Very good. And as you said, you approached everybody, me included, and everybody was just delighted. And I'm not going to say I'm not a big fan of poetry, but I wouldn't be a connoisseur of poetry. But one immediately kind of sprung to mind, and it is the one that I'll perform on the night as well, a Patrick Kavanagh poems which I'm looking forward to doing on the night. Yeah,
Shane, I was pleasantly surprised at the positivity around the whole thing when I spoke to people about it, and the willingness of people to put themselves forward, and not one person said no to me, which I thought was great, And poetry is, it's not something, you wouldn't sit down and read a poetry book as you would a novel. It's something you dip in and out over several years, And we have a wee bit of music on the night as well, Shane, because it could be rather boring for some people to sit for an hour or an hour and a half listening to poetry being read. So we have a group called Sabrosa. It's a soft jazz, and Jan will be playing the keyboards, and her singer Siobhan will be doing the vocals for us. And it's thanks to Eddie Lynch that we've got this group, and so they will open proceedings in the evening with a few tunes. We'll have a wee break midway through the evening, and they will play a few more tunes and hopefully close off the evening with a few tunes as well. And it starts at 8 o'clock. Promises to be a good evening, and it's a free event.
Most importantly.
Most importantly, yes. And it's free to everybody and anybody, and we would hope that people would come out and just experience the evening for what it is and to enjoy it. Now, we hope to have a wee box for donations if anybody would like to throw in a few euro for a donation or whatever. But no pressure, no pressures. Advertised free, and that's where it tends to be.
Have you sight of the various poems that people are going to do, or is it a mystery?
It's no. Some people have come forward with asking, is it okay if I do this and okay if I do that? And I'm saying, yeah, it's your poem. You choose it. And as I said, the bold Nora Gallagher has specially composed a lovely poem. Actually, it's about her visit to Bundoran. She specifically wrote it for the event, for the evening that's in it. And I've had a preview of it, and it's good. There's some very good poems. Somebody's picking a poem written by Allingham, a local poet here in Ballyshannon. Yourself, Shane's picking Kavanagh. Somebody else has picked one from Yeats as well. So there seems to be a fair diversity there, and most of them so far. Personally, I have one picked from Leyland Bardwell, who lived up in Marrow in Sligo. I've one of hers that I would like to read myself. It's she celebrated her centenary there last year, and her collected poems were just published by her son last year. So she'll be one of the poets that I'll be reading a little bit from myself.
Great stuff. The writers group continues to go well.
It's going well, Shane. Yes, we're probably going to be breaking up for the summer now, maybe after this weekend, after this event, because I've found out through the years with these kind of groups, evenings are good and people want to be doing other things. There's lawns to be cut and
swimming to be done
and different things. So I always feel that it's better to give people a wee break not for let them continue writing by all means, but we'll resume then again hopefully we'll run to the end of this month, and then hopefully we'll take a break and we'll resume again then in September. That's the idea anyway. That we'll pick it up again in September and hopefully get some more members and new numbers again.
Brilliant. So it's an evening of poetry and song to celebrate Poetry Day Ireland. It's happening Thursday, 27th of April at the Rogie Suite, which is at the rear of Bundoran Community Centre. It's at 8 o'clock, doors open at 7:30, and it is free of charge.
Exactly, Shane. And there's ample car park space down along that road there in front of Waterworld, and it'll be free that hour of the evening.
Right.
It'll be free. And we'd ask people that are the 12 people, and I will be getting in touch with everybody again in a day or two prior to the event, just to arrive a little bit early so that we can coordinate it. I'll do out a wee schedule of who's coming, who's reading at what time, or who's following who, etc. But I'm not going to tell that to the people until we arrive there, so that we'll all be there for the whole event.
Good man.
That's the plan, Shane, anyway. So hopefully it'll all go well for us.
Great stuff, Paddy. Listen, best of luck with it, and I really look forward to being there on the night and delivering my Patrick Kavanagh poem.
Thank you very much, Shane. Look forward to it.
The Bundoran Weekly.
Thanks, Paddy. Certainly looking forward to reading my poem on the night as well. Now let's stay with Bundoran Community Centre, and in our community corner, here's Teresa.
Thanks, Shane. Citizens Information are here on Wednesday the 19th of April at 10 a.m. to 3:30. Also on Wednesday the 19th, we have Chat in a Cuppa at 2 to 3:30 with Rafa, who will be doing chair exercise. The youth hangout on the 19th will be cancelled, but will be back the following week. Samba will be in the centre on Tuesday the 20th of April in the Rogie Suite from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come along to join Rafa. This will be a class not to be missed. Karate for adults and kids in the Rogie Suite every Tuesday at 5:30 to 6:30. To join a class or for more information, call Chris on 08777 64625. We have Irish dancing with Lauren every Friday at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. To register, you have to text Lauren on 086124 2015. As always, we have printing, photocopying, and we have a computer here in the centre. These will be available from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Teresa, thank you. And that's it for this week's edition of the Bundoran Weekly Podcast. Taking a break, and we'll be back again in 2 weeks' time on the 28th of April. So look forward to joining you then. In the meantime, you can contact us as always by email. It's podcast@bundoranweekly.com. That's podcast@bundoranweekly.com by email. And you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Bundoran Weekly. And don't forget, of course, you can follow us wherever you're listening right now, or indeed stream and download all episodes on demand at bundoranweekly.com. If you're out and about in Bundoran and you're taking some photographs, use the hashtag #DiscoverBundoran for your chance to be featured on our feed. And if you're sharing some stories, then don't forget to search Giphies for Bundoran, because we've got some cool little animated Giphies there to brighten up your stories. That's going to do it. Talk to you again in 2 weeks' time. Have a great one. Good luck.
The Bundoran Weekly is a production of Discover Bundoran.
The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.